Welcome to our first commercial solar training module. The goal of this lesson is to give you an overview of the commercial solar market. Selling commercial solar is very different from selling residential solar, and our goal for you once you've completed these modules is to have a clear vision of how to utilize this knowledge in your conversations with your clients. So the most important part of selling solar is educating the client and nurturing the relationship. So let's get started. In this module, we'll talk about how solar works, what the market looks like for commercial solar, and why now is the perfect time to get involved, where the hot solar states are, and suggestions on what makes a great commercial solar customer. So before we dig in too deep into commercial solar, I want to give you a quick review of how solar works. We think it's good practice to just start with this basic knowledge before jumping into big sales talks. So first, obviously, the sunlight falls on the solar panel, which the solar panel then converts that energy from the sun to direct current or DC energy. It is then sent to the inverter. At that point, the inverter converts the DC energy into alternating current or AC energy. So you'll notice then the meter that's connected to the house and in turn to the solar system, it monitors the energy usage. And when the solar energy system produces more electricity than is needed during the peak sun hours, the excess electricity is sent to the utility company. So when this happens, you will actually see the meter moving backward, which is kind of cool. You'll want to note that solar produces a high quality energy that reduces the chance of power fluctuations. And you'll also want to note that utility power is continuously provided at night and during the day when demand exceeds the solar production. And so you'll see in the middle part of the graphic, it just shows the energy from the meter. Any excess power is sent to the utility company. And of course, in times where the demand exceeds production, power from the utility company is provided to the property. So you can see all of this illustrated here. So next I want to jump into what the market for commercial solar looks like. Over the last few years, commercial solar has actually stagnated. And in the graph on the left and on the right, you'll notice commercial solar is represented in the middle shade of blue. So the one that says non-residential PV, that is representing the commercial projects. But you can see from the graph on the left how the non-residential PV market is estimated to triple by 2021. So it's actually pretty incredible because we haven't had any type of standardization in the solar industry, and there's so many complexities to selling commercial solar, and there hasn't been any type of scalable solution to bring commercial solar to the masses. But now we do, and that is where the Crew and Solar Site Design model will help bring solar to the masses, especially to your commercial and industrial clients. So that is why now is the best time to get involved in selling solar to your commercial and industrial clients, because it's already been written about. There are several articles out right now that talk about the growth of commercial solar between now and 2020. And you know, now is the time where business owners are seeing that investing in solar is actually a very smart financial decision for their property, particularly in the hot solar markets where energy prices tend to be a little bit higher. The graph on the right simply represents the types of solar projects that were installed based on percentage. You'll notice the non-residential again is marked by the dark blue color, that middle blue color. We want to point out where most of the solar installations are happening across the country. You could call these the so-called hot solar markets, where majority of the installations happened in 2014. These are markets where utility rates are higher, or there might be financing vehicles available specifically for solar projects. You'll notice the majority are out west in states like California and Arizona, And you'll notice all across the Northeast have been very popular for solar. But the good news is that it won't be long before every single state on this map is highlighted. To drill down even further into the solar installations by state, this table represents all commercial solar installations in 2015. So they're sorted by capacity, and you will notice that California is at the top. They have been the leader in all things solar. And I have to say, though, that it is encouraging to see states like North Carolina and Ohio represented in this chart, in addition to western and northeastern states. So you'll notice there really is a pivotal upward trend happening here in the solar industry with the growth in commercial solar installations. I mean, how cool is it that you can be a part of the crowd that really transforms the solar industry by selling in your home state using the design and financing options that we now have available to you that were not available in 2015. I mean, this is a really exciting time to be selling commercial solar. And while selling commercial solar can be a little bit more complex, given that every commercial client can have varying utility costs, even with the same geographic footprint, but a few of the big reasons why the states on the previous slide have been leaders in commercial solar installs are mostly because they have high utility costs, which would be considered anything about 10 cents per kilowatt hour and above. Now keep in mind, that's expensive for a commercial property. It's different in the residential world, but this is expensive in terms of a commercial or industrial property. Net metering policies, which if you're not familiar with net metering, it's essentially a billing mechanism that allows customers who generate their own electricity from solar power to feed electricity that they don't use back to the grid. You can find out more information on net metering just using Google. There's lots of great information out there if you want to do some research on that. And you'll find that many states have passed net metering laws. In other states, some utilities offer net metering programs voluntarily or as a result of some type of a regulatory decision. So the differences between states' legislations and implementation mean that the benefits of net metering can vary widely for solar customers in very different parts of the country. So when we say our suggestion to you is to really be a champion in your local market. Every state is different. Every municipality area is different. And so the more that you can become the expert in your local market, the more successful you're going to be in selling commercial solar to your neighbors. And finally, one of the more recent innovations in the solar industry are commercial PACE programs. And this is so exciting for our industry. What PACE stands for is Property Assessed Clean Energy. And we'll dive deeper into the benefits of selling solar in a PACE approved market in a later module. All right, guys, this is what I was referring to in terms of the growth that's expected to come in the commercial solar sector. Our team stays on top of industry trends, and we recently read a report written by GTM Research that stated that the U.S. commercial solar market is expected to rebound and nearly triple in size by 2020. That's incredible. And I mean, there really is no better time than right now to be selling commercial solar. So in terms of what to look for in your solar customers, let's just go over a few suggestions for you. I mean, obviously, we want to make solar an appealing business investment for your customer, making sure that your customer is looking to save money, and more specifically, save money on their energy costs. Ideally, you know, there's all business owners are looking to find ways on how they can conserve energy, especially these days. So it definitely helps to have that and be as one of their goals and as part of their business plan. If your customer's already looking for an energy solution, then that's incredible. You're a leg up there then, because these are the ideal types of customers. You also want to make sure that you seek out the landlord or the owner occupier of the property. We want to make sure that your time is maximized to its fullest extent. We know that you're all very busy, and we just want to make sure that you're going to maximize your time and who you're talking to about solar, especially when you're going to present a proposal. So just make sure that you're able to talk directly to the decision maker, and have just a general conversation with them. Try to see, are they fiscally healthy and in good standing? If they talk about wanting to finance this project, finance solar, it's really important that they are fiscally and healthy. Obviously, you want to make your discussion about solar a natural one. So if they're talking about the energy efficiency upgrades that they're planning to do for their facility, or if you're selling a complementary product, it should make a discussion about solar very seamless and less like a sales pitch. Lastly, just check out their location and the condition of the property. Do they have a good roof? Has the roof been installed within the last 5 to 7 years, or are they actively looking to upgrade their roof? You also want to make sure that there's limited shading around the property. We never want to suggest cutting down trees, and sometimes, though, there's trees on an adjacent property that your customer doesn't own. So you just want to have a conversation with them about that, and also talk with them about what's on their roof. Do they have a lot of obstructions on the roof? Anything you can't see from the ground, like air conditioning units or skylights or any other types of equipment that you might not be able to see from the ground. Obviously, if you can get to the roof safely, if they have an easy way to get up there, that's great. But it might be easier for you to just ask the questions, and of course then we can reference what we see on Google Earth as well. You'll also want to ensure that there is unobstructed sun access to the south. Solar panel efficiency is maximized when the panels face due south, so it's really important to make sure there's enough southern exposure at the property. And if roof is not an option, what about land? That's always an option too. Do they own a large amount of land where they could be interested in installing a ground mount solar project? We have built some beautiful ground mount systems for commercial clients over the years, and they have loved how it's become a conversation starter among those who visit their property. So for them, it's been a great marketing tactic for their business in terms of wanting to show their efforts, and how they're protecting the environment. I want to next move to a slide that gives you some examples of commercial facilities that would be good to identify as potential solar customers. Commercial agriculture, especially if they have livestock, would be a great option. Small businesses in your local community are also great candidates to reach out to. You'll also want to check out retail properties, manufacturing facilities, data centers, distribution centers, and warehouses are great. Convention centers and storage facilities, even, especially ones that offer climate control, are great candidates. This is just a very small sampling of a list of the types of facilities to look for. But one word of caution that we like to suggest to people is to try to avoid chain stores unless they're small, locally owned chains. Keep in mind that you're going to need to speak and present the proposals directly to a decision maker in order to be successful in selling commercial solar projects. It won't be convenient for you to sell this when the decision makers are located in a corporate office located in another part of the country. So just wanted to put that out there as a suggestion. So these are a few examples of designs that we build for our commercial clients. There's a roof mount design, which depending on the style of roof can be ballasted or flush mount, and we'll get into the differences of those in the next modules. You can do ground mounts, which many of our customers have built in order to draw attention to their business. Actually, one of our customers, he was installing just some small solar projects in his community, and he was looking to expand his solar installation business. So he actually built this ground mount so that he could show potential customers his project and what he could do for them. I mean, it was a great marketing strategy for his business and in his local community. And then you'll see at the bottom of the screen that carport designs are also an option, especially if the customer is looking to install electric vehicle chargers. It's great. And keep in mind as well, if it's a large facility or they're wanting to install as much solar as possible, we have also done designs that include both roof mount and ground mount, or roof mount and a carport. We can do a combination of things. So it all just depends on the customer's budget and what they're looking for aesthetically. So while that kind of wraps up our first module, I'd like to give you a little background about who we are. The Solar Site Design team has been selling commercial solar projects since 2005. We decided to build this platform because we've been in the field, we've been in the trenches, and we found it extremely cumbersome to fumble with paperwork and take pictures with the digital camera. We'd have to head back to the office and transfer all of our notes into an email. We'd have to plug in the camera and download all the pictures to our computer. And then, of course, we'd have to package it all up into a zip file where we would then have to send it off to our engineers to help us build proposals. And at that time, we would find out, oh, well, we need a picture of the meter. So then we'd have to go back out to the website, or go back out to the job site and get a picture of the meter. And so, it was a little frustrating when you're trying to sell solar, and a lot of time is taken in collecting all of the data. And we felt like, gosh, if we just had one app or platform that we could use, that could collect all of this for us, and that could just tell us everything that we need to collect at the job site, it would make our life so much easier, and we could focus more on selling and designing more so than running back and forth to the job site. And so once smartphones became the backbone of how we communicated, we decided to go ahead and try and build an app and an online platform, and we essentially built it for what we needed it for in terms of what we had to collect at the job site to build a proposal. I mean, doing this has saved us hours in the field, and our engineers and builders love it because all of the project data that they need to help us get one-line drawings and to help spec out the project for us, it's all in one place using the Solar Site Design platform. So, I mean, we all know that tracking down data is extremely time-consuming, it's expensive, and we've solved that by using our platform to collect everything that is needed all at once. No more multiple job site trips just to capture a picture of the meter. And just to give you a background of just a few of the things that we've accomplished since building this is we've presented at Solar Power International's Startup Alley, which, in case you're not aware, Solar Power International is the largest solar trade show in North America. We've presented at the International Clean Tech Forum in San Francisco, which is where clean tech innovators from all around the world come together to meet and discuss up-and-coming technologies for the clean energy sector. And then most recently, we were awarded the U.S. Department of Energy's Sunshot Catalyst Award for helping to drive down the soft costs of the solar industry. So we have seen the solar industry come a long way over the last 11 years, and the solar industry really needs people just like you to help us sell and build more projects that will provide a cleaner energy future for our children and our grandchildren, all while providing for you and your families. So Solar Site Design's here to help educate you and teach you in how to be successful in selling solar, and we hope that you'll be able to join us in our next module where we dig a little deeper into the nuts and bolts of selling commercial solar.